Hey everybody, it's Steve with Sky194 and appreciate you taking the time out of your day to stop in and visit and check out my video.
Stay double file.
And we're back here in LFM in the new season, first race, Brands Hatch and the Porsche. See how it goes. Outside pole, so I'm really happy with that. Ran my personal best. So we'll see how it does in a race. I got Sawyer back there. I saw Sawyer right back there in the Ferrari back there. One he races in, pretty sure it's the same one, races in the U.S. competition server. But again, this is the LFM, Coach Dave Sprint Series, so let's see what we can do.
Green light, go, go, go. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
I was a little loose in the beginning.
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Guess he wanted to block it. A little damage, not much. Go, go, go.
Fastest lap of the race, man. Good job.
high 23s back there. Little oversteery, but I'm hoping it'll get a little better so fuel comes off. Dang it. That was on the edge. That was bad. Sawyer would give him some hard time.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
Come on, Porsche. something. I don't know what. Keep picking it up.
We're at the halfway mark. Keep pushing.
Come on, Sawyer, get him.
Yellow flag is at all.
Oh, you lost it. Oh, he crashed out both of them. I can breathe. I can breathe again. Of course, this place, you relax a little bit and it bites you. Come on. Gotta keep up my rhythm. Don't mind it toning it down just a teeny bit, but still got to keep the rhythm going. Before you know it, I'll have those guys behind me getting right on my bumper. That was a little bit deep. This guy's going good here in the Ferrari. So I say it doesn't take much in LFM to go from, you know, in the top half of the field down to the bottom. It don't take nothing. Not really. Not in these upper splits. Just like I do is watch the brake. Not too much brake. Keep pushing to some extent. Good time. You're getting near the end of the race. For me, anyway. Don't have any track warnings yet, so that's really good. Come on, Porsche. Yeah, he just hit the grass. I saw in the mirror, he just hit the grass, barely hit the grass, and spun it. And then he collected Sawyer. I don't know if Sawyer's out or. He just got the one wheel off in the grass, and that was it. lost some time there, but it was right on my delta the whole time. Dang, there's still 30 cars in the race. A little deep there. That was just my worst lap for sure. Said it. Keep it together. Not bad. Car doesn't feel too bad. A little off there. I'm hitting too late of apex there. You don't want to do another lap. I don't blame him. All right.
Excellent job, man.
Woohoo!
What a race. E1. Bring it back home safely.
I'll take it any way I can get it. All right. Yes. I mean, this is second split, so, I mean, it's not the top split, but, I mean, this is, you know, probably depending upon how many cars, first and second split. So, I mean, I'm still happy to be here, especially on outside pole and winning the race. So, I'll take it. And again, we'll go over the setup and also go to the LFM website and check and see what the results are. And also I might show a couple replays also, so we'll do that too. So just to check it out. So we'll be right back. All right, we'll take a look at some of the replay. This was my fast lap, my qualifying lap. So we'll take a look at this, just one lap here. But I wanted to show you, this is my personal best here, but I wasn't a perfect lap. So, I mean, there's definitely a little bit more in the car. A couple places I was a little sloppy. Plus the guy in the front of me, the Audi there, he got off the track and I kind of had to get around, went around him, past him, because he kind of went off the track. I don't think it really cost me much, but I didn't lift my foot out of it. You see I'm 11th right now. I mean, I'm hitting all this pretty good, hitting it really good. This is where I think I messed up some time right here. little teeny bit wide, and then I got off into that and see it bump, it hit that. So that cost me probably another mile an hour down the end of the straightaway. Yeah, it probably cost me about another mile an hour, so it hurt me a little bit there. You see him catching the Audi, and then he goes off right up here, right there. And he was already off, so I just went to the inside. So I don't know if that cost me anything or not, but still, I mean, overall it was a really good lap. But I mean, it definitely a little bit of room for improvement here or there. And of course, I was on my last lap. I only had 1 liter of fuel left, so I already did like 3 or 4 laps. So it wasn't like a 2 laps or something. I did like about 3 or 4 laps, 4 or 5 maybe. It was I had like 18. Started with 18 liters, and you see it was a 123.65. So and it went right up to pole. Of course, I started second because the Paulin and that Aston Martin, he beat me out by a little bit and got pole. So let's go ahead and go. Now I want to look at the let's go take a look at the race part. I want to look and see. I mean, I know it was a little aggressive, so I apologize to Paulin. I mean, I was right on him, and my car the Porsche is a little bit stronger in the very beginning, and of course it's a little weaker at the end. That is actually just the DNA of the car. Usually the Porsche is always usually that way. It's usually a little stronger at the start, and then it finds a middle ground, and then at the very end it starts to tail off a little bit just because the balance of the car. Well, the Aston Martin's probably the other way. The other Aston Martin's, maybe the way he has it set up, I don't know, but maybe he is, stronger near the end, I'm sure. So we're just going to watch a couple laps. I just want to watch where we make the pass, and that was on the second lap. So we'll watch this one, and then the next one. I like the inside line better where Sawyer is, because you can you don't have to worry about somebody just guard the inside and you're good. You're stuck on the outside. So I was glad I got a good start and was able to get in line. That's got to be Sawyer, because it's about the same color he always runs, that blue. When he runs the Honda, he's in the same blue. So you can see I'm sticking with him okay, but he was slipping a little here and there in certain places. So I'm sure it was just because the tires were cold, not up to temperature. I mean, obviously he was a little faster. So he got off in the grass there. That hurt him. That got me to where I pulled right up in on him. And then this last corner up here is where I didn't come off as good either, because I was right on him. I mean, pretty much drafting as close as you can draft. I mean, you don't get no closer than that. And so I just decided, this is my chance. I'm just going to, and see, he was off in the dirt again, and I was on the inside. So, yeah, I mean, it was a little aggressive, I admit. I mean, if you look at it, it is a little aggressive. I'm about right where his rear right where his rear tire is. My front tire is to his rear tire. I mean, I was already on the inside, so I showed it earlier than that. I mean, I wanted to see that, wasn't behind him and then just dive bombed him. I pulled to the, I'm behind him, and then I pull on the inside. So he knows I'm to the inside. I mean, if he was looking. But then he comes down, and basically my front tire hits his rear tire. I mean, so, he could have ran it out wide and tried to hold it and then battle around to the next corner, to the next left-hander, and he would have had position on me there. But, I take some of the blame for that. I mean, it was a little of both to me. not totally my fault, but it is definitely a good majority. I mean, we both kind of slid, and then we both went wide, and because there's Sawyer, he's going back around me, but I had the inside. So again, it's a judgment call. I just know that with the Porsche, and you're here at Brands Hatch. I mean, it's a hard call because it's so hard to pass. I mean, you're not gonna have. It's not like you're gonna go blown by somebody. It's not like, I got to take the strengths of when my car is. It's strong in the beginning, and he did have a faster lap, so he was faster. But he might have been, if he didn't wreck, he might have been faster. He could have probably passed me. He caught up to me, but so I'm not saying that. He was definitely quick. I love the Aston Martin. It looks so nice. He must have a custom livery because it's just carbon fiber. But at least we didn't both wreck. We saved it. He good save by him, and we kept going. I mean, like I said, it was only like 1.3 seconds damage on my part. That's not that much. And then we went from there. So again, your judgment. I know I'm partially to blame for that. It's just one of those calls. You make a split-second decision. I mean, I was going to try to get in there on the brakes on him, because that's why I went to the inside and hoping that he would see me. But I mean, he probably just figured I wasn't going to do it. But I mean, I did. So I mean, like I said, I apologize. I don't mean to hit anybody. I thought maybe he would bump a little bit, but then he would just kind of go out wide. But I didn't mean to hit us that hard. So again, it's just one of those things that it's just racing. So let's go ahead and run to the LFM website and see the results. Alrighty, well, we're back here at the LFM, not homepage. It's taking a long time to load it today, and I checked my internet, and it's like it's still really good. So I think it's just they're getting, a lot of people racing today, so their website's probably really slow. So, yeah, it's taking a while to get everything loaded. But there was 6 splits, and I was in number 2. This is the number 1 split, so you can see that, where these guys finished here in the number 1 split. I recognize a few guys. We'll go to the number 2, and there we go. So again, we had 4 incident points. Safety rating went up 0.21, and my ELO went up 77. So we're up to a 7.65 on my safety rating, and my ELO's up to 1808. So 1808. So that's, I think, my highest ELO. So really happy with that. So anyway, yeah, I mean, I guess the Aston Martin driver wasn't too happy. So he sent me a message. Not too happy that I wrecked him. Paulin, which he wrecked himself anyway. He wrecked at the end of the. I mean, I don't know why he's so upset, but I mean, he wrecked himself. So I don't know, but he was upset that I bumped into him and for the lead. But I mean, it still could have been a good race. And I mean, he caught back up, and there's a good chance, if he would have got up next to me or something, I'm sure I wouldn't have fought. I'd rather finish second or third and finish than, so I would have, and I know it was kind of a contact there. I would have just let him go by. I wouldn't have probably contested it. But I mean, he wrecked out. But again, it wasn't intentional. It was just something, it was just racing to me. It wasn't like I hit him in the rear. It wasn't like I just took him out. I mean, we both still went going. I mean, he lost, 2 positions, but I mean, we were both still going, so it was just a bump. It's Brands Hatch. I don't know. I've had a way worse happen to me. So, again, it wasn't intentional. I thought he saw me to the inside, and he would just go out wide. Again, to me, if he didn't want me to make a pass, in my opinion, he should have defended. He should have went to the inside. I would have never been able to do that. I would have had to go around. So again, I don't really understand. I understand him just not being happy because he, but he still could have come and won the race. He caught back up to me. He still could have passed me and won. But he wrecked out. I mean, that's not my fault. So, but yeah, he said he's going to report me. So that's okay. Whatever. But anyway, I'm happy with the win. It's to me, it was a good race. I mean, usually for the most part, I'm usually not very aggressive, but I can get aggressive when I need to. And I usually, and that's the tough part, trying to find out when to be aggressive and when not to be. And, again, you got to use that sum as to the car. Sometimes if your car, again, in the beginning of a race isn't super planted, you're better off not to be aggressive because you probably end up crashing. But if the car is, then maybe you need to be a little bit more aggressive in the beginning because the car is a little bit more on the pace. So again, there's a lot of variables, and it just depends on the track too. In Brands Hatch, it's not like there's all kinds of places to pass. So that's one of the prime passing areas is right there. So I mean, you're either going to take it or not, and just follow around. So I just decided to take it. So he seemed like he was having a few problems with the tires, down on pressure, or they're coming up to pressure and up to temp. And I mean, I was going to take advantage of it. So, but that's the way it goes. But we'll go ahead and go over the setup so you can check that out. It's a really good setup. I'm sure you can do more tweaks to it to even improve upon it some more. But it's there. It feels good. And of course, just more practice always. I mean, obviously, if I practice some more Brands Hatch, I haven't ran a Brands Hatch in I can't remember when. It's been a long time. It's not like it's a favorite track of mine. So coming out and just doing it pretty quick, and the setup, just making some adjustments that I've been doing lately on the Porsche, and bang, I just ran my personal best. I'm really really happy with that, and also it was still on competitive pace the whole race. So again, let's go ahead and run on over to back to the track, and we'll go ahead and check over the setup. Alrighty, we're back here at Brands Hatch, and also I forgot to mention they have a couple new things going on this season with LFM. They got where you can run your custom livery and load it in there, and you just download it, and so I see how that works. But yeah, that's kind of interesting, a little bit different than how like Pan Am does it. But again, and it's supposed to unload, like if you hit automatic, it unloads the files from any of the other custom liveries after every race, so that way you're not just adding all these files from everybody else's custom liveries all the time. So that way it loads them for that race, and then at the end of the race it unloads them. So that's kind of different, kind of neat. That's kind of see how that works. But that's pretty awesome. I like that upgrade. It's really nice. So let's go ahead and go over the setup. Now also, my prior personal best was a 123.95 here in the Porsche, and of course, so I beat that by like 3/10 with that lap there. So again, really happy with that. Let's go ahead and go over the setup. Got 24/7 left front, 24/8 left rear, 26/5 right front, and 26/4 right rear. And that's another thing you can see is pretty balanced because the tire pressures are really close. Toe is -0.2 on the front with the camber at -3.5 on the left front, -3.3 on the right front with the caster at 10.6. And the toe on the rear is a +0.1 with the camber at -2.7 on the left rear, -2.6 on the right rear. So basically, from other setups I've done, I'm just pretty much all this is different. I've run more negative toe, camber's little less, more caster, more toe in the rear, and a little less camber in the rear too. So little adjustments pretty much all the way across the board. Electronics are 3, 4, and 4. You can run 4, 4, 4, but I just ran 3, 4, and 4. I mean, trying to have a little bit, and I even went to 5 there during the race to give me a little bit more cushion, so to speak. And of course, I started with 51 liters. Started with 51 liters. That was enough to do that race. Matter of fact, I had more than enough. I should have went down to like 48 or something like that. So, but I mean, it doesn't hurt. I don't want to be right on the ragged edge, so that's fine. A few extra liters is no big deal. Mechanical 2 on the anti-roll bar. Brake bias is 53. Steering is 13. Springs in the front are 119,000 with a bump stop rate of 600 and a bump stop range of 3. And on the rear, the springs are 187,000 with a bump stop rate of 700 and a bump stop range of 10. Anti-roll bar is 3 and the preload on the diff is 120. So basically, all this has been changed with different springs. And roll bars are different. I took some anti-roll bar out of the front and the rear, both. Added a lot more diff. Lighter springs, like I said, by a click, and the brake bias you can actually go down as you got to be careful though, because in the beginning it'll rotate really fast in the beginning. So again, you want to be kind of cautious on the brake bias and then kind of feed it in as you go. So and as the fuel comes off, I think I was down to like 51, and it was still not too bad. So again, I probably could have done it a little sooner, but again, you got to be careful not to do too much trail braking other than that tight hairpin where I had the bump right there. You could probably do that, but everywhere else, just probably not too much trail braking. Shocks are 1135, and on the rear they're 1124, all dialed in by Motec. Of course, those have been adjusted also, a lot of different adjustments on those. Again, nothing big, just small. Aero got 54 in the front, 75 in the rear with a 1 splitter and a 12 wing and a 3 in the brake ducts. And the front aero variation is a 0.3 to the positive. So here, a lot of different stuff here. The only thing the same is the wing is maxed out. For my other setup, I had a whole bunch of splitter. I took that out. And I actually raised the car up in the front just 1 click, and that's just so it doesn't upset it going over those curbs and things like that you got to go over on the back part of the track. Try not to upset it, and also coming down the hill where you're not hitting too hard and things like that. And then basically ride height's different. So again, lot different balance of the car. I don't know if there's anything. I mean, maybe you could go 1 click more in the splitter in the front. But you'd have to check it. It probably it might be okay, but it'd be close because it goes up to 0.4. So something you could try to see if you give you a little bit more aero. But in the beginning, you'd have to be really careful because it's already got plenty of rotation, like I said, in the start of the race. So again, just something that you can maybe try. As far as a range setup, I mean, I would probably just go up 1 click. Probably just 1 click or 2 clicks. 1 to 2 clicks, depending upon how much rain in the front, and maybe a click or so on the splitter in the front, and to help. And that's about it. I don't think I do too much other than that. Everything's good. Shocks are good. I mean, again, typical, electronics, adjust that. Tires, again, I would probably take. You could probably leave them the way they are, or again, probably depending upon how much rain it is, you could take 1 to 2 clicks out of all the way around. It would be fine. It's not going to hurt it. Again, here you're going to be going as fast. So again, it wouldn't hurt nothing. But other than that, you could pretty much the same stuff that I do pretty much for all the rain setups. That would definitely get you in a good base and then adjust from there. So again, I hope you enjoyed the video. I loved it. It was probably one of my better LFM races. I think, especially here at Brands Hatch, definitely one of my best Brands Hatch races. And that's saying something because I've had a lot over the years. So again, I just hope that I can continue to keep going in the positive direction. Of course, maybe getting #1 split once in a while, which again, those guys are flying. So, but that would be great, and mix it up with those guys. But hopefully you'll come and join me for that sometime, and you come back and visit again really soon. So again, I appreciate it, and I hope you all have a great day and a great week. See ya.